From the Detroit Free Press, it's Monday. Here are today's top stories, presented by Bush's Fresh Food Market. Bush's has over 4,000 Michigan products, including the freshest fruit and vegetables, meat, seafood, and baked goods. Stop by one of Bush's 16 locations for the personal service you expect from your neighborhood grocer.
For the Detroit Free Press, I'm Keith Matheny. Workers removing siding from an old building in Manistee this month stumbled upon a bit of history. There beneath the siding was a wall poster touting Buffalo Bill's Wild West show's appearance in the city in 1898. The poster had some deterioration, but in places had colors so vivid it looked like it was hung yesterday. Buffalo Bill Cody is a real-life legend of the Old West. He rode in the Pony Express at age 14, fought in the Civil War, and later was a U.S. Army Scout in the Indian Wars of the Plains, winning a Medal of Honor. He got his famous nickname serving as a contracted buffalo hunter, feeding crews building train tracks across the country. He believed he shot more than 4,000 buffalo in his lifetime. After his exploits were touted and embellished in newspapers and dime novels of the time, Buffalo Bill started a touring Wild West show featuring exhibitions of cowboy skills, reenactments of stagecoach robberies and famous battles, and more. Famous Old West icons such as Annie Oakley, Calamity Jane, and Lakota Indian leader Sitting Bull appeared in Cody's shows. What to do with the historical find? Well, the workers still have a siding job to finish. After taking some photos of the poster, they will be covering it back up, perhaps for a later generation to rediscover.
This is Minna Arshad with the Detroit Free Press. September is National Sickle Cell Awareness Month. Sickle cell disease is a red blood cell disorder that causes severe pain episodes, fatigue, and infections. There is no cure, so people use opioids and other pain medications to manage the symptoms. But for 12-year-old Madison Matthews, even 6 prescriptions couldn't control her pain from the disease. That's when she turned to cannabis. A couple months into her CBD and THC regimen, and Madison has more energy, appetite, and has stopped needing her prescription opioids. However, while cannabis is legal statewide, it is still against federal law, even for medical use. This has led to some problems for Madison's older brother, Blake, who also has sickle cell. Blake won't use cannabis out of fear of being turned away from work. As a black man, Blake also worries about how cops and others will perceive him if he uses medical marijuana.
I'm Sue Solaski, Detroit Free Press food writer. If you're heading out to an apple orchard or cider mill this fall, expect to pay a bit more for apples, cider, and donuts. Many owners and operators are facing a reduced apple crop along with higher cost increases across the board. The reduced apple crop is due to a late spring freeze in April. Though there is still plenty of apples to be had. Growers are expected to harvest more than 18 million bushels of apples this year. The owners of Dexter Cider Mill say the increases are nothing like they've seen before, but they say customers don't seem to mind. At $17 for a gallon of fresh-made cider and a dozen donuts, the owners say it's still a bargain for families. Despite the reduced apple crop, there's good news. Many orchards and cider mills offer a host of activities such as farm tours, pumpkin picking, corn mazes, donuts, and other food options. Several have wineries with tasting rooms. For a list of orchards and cider mills, go to freep.com. Be sure to check ahead for hours and product availability.
I'm Andrew Hammond for the Free Press Sports Department. Michigan and Michigan State survived their Saturday victories to remain unbeaten, but also remain in the USA Today coaches poll. The Michigan Wolverines, after a hot start versus Rutgers this past Saturday, withstood a late rally and are ranked 14th, moving up 5 spots. The Michigan State Spartans also moved up 5 spots to number 16 after their overtime victory versus Nebraska. This week, Michigan travels to Wisconsin for a noon kickoff on Fox. Michigan State will once again be under the lights at Spartan Stadium as they host Western Kentucky at 7:30 p.m. on the Big Ten Network.
For more stories from the Detroit Free Press, be sure to check out freep.com. That's FREEP.com. If you're a fan and want to support our quality local journalism, subscribe. Go to freep.com/special offer.